Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing and financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars learning in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. Before I get started, I also want to give a shout out to one of my sponsors, Capitalism Solutions. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business, meeting all of your financial needs. And please hit that notification bell, okay? So I want to do a podcast pretty quickly on how we are systematically programmed in this version of capitalism here in America to be poor. So with that, let's get started, okay? Let's get started. First way we are programmed to be poor is that they teach us to do consumption versus production. So there are a lot of finance channels out here, everybody, that focus on telling you to save money. Susie Orman says, don't buy coffee. Dave Ramsey says, don't use credit cards. And their entire focus, everybody, is on getting out of debt and cutting spending. Not buying a $15 coffee every morning and not eating a $25 lunch every day is important. But to be honest, everyone, no one has ever saved their way to $1 million. But a lot of people have invested their way to $1 billion. In other words, everybody, cutting spending is only one portion of the equation, but making more money should be a much larger part of the conversation. For instance, in America, everybody, there are 1,700 brand new millionaires who become a millionaire every day. And the best part about it is that the majority of these people come from the lower middle class or they grew up poor. I therefore cringe when I hear so many YouTubers and finance types spend so much time focusing on cutting your spending and not spending more time on increasing your income, because that to me is a much bigger part of the equation. America has its issues, no doubt, but if you live in America, you can always start a business, you can always write a book, you can always create an e-product on a subject that you are a subject matter expert on and make more money. So that, everybody, the first way they program us in America to be poor is they teach us to do consumption versus production. They teach us to cut debt instead of teaching us to increase our income. Next. The next way they program us to be poor in America is through social media. So I'm gonna be honest with you on this one, everybody. Delayed gratification is not pushed at all in our society anymore, and social media is a huge reason why. Because of social media, we are programmed and told to keep up with the Joneses, and the social validation that comes with buying things you simply cannot afford and putting them on credit cards. Social media, everybody, it programs us to look rich when in actuality it teaches us to become poor. And instead of teaching us to look average, it teaches us to try to look rich. And if you know anything about money, everybody, generally speaking, the wealthiest people typically look the brokest. So the average American sadly owes $8,000 of credit card debt, and the average credit card debt in America has an interest rate of 22%. So ladies, if you're buying Chanel bags or Birkin bags or red bottoms or expensive exotic trips to foreign countries and everything that you can stunt half naked on Instagram, but you're putting all this crap on credit cards, then guess what? You are hustling backwards. Fellas, if you have a closet full of Jordans, right? Or a closet full of cowboy boots or a Bentley or the newest F-150 Raptor, and you don't have an HSA, you ain't got a 401k, you're not maxing out your Roth IRA, then guess what? You are also hustling backwards. Social media, everybody, is one of those things keeping us poor because it pushes us to buy things that we can't afford to try to impress people that will literally never like us to begin with. So the next way we are programmed to be poor in the United States of America is through social media, because social media pushes us to try to portray an image that we flat out simply cannot afford. Next. The next way we are programmed to be poor in the United States of America is that they teach us to settle for being mediocre and being average instead of telling us to master a high value skill set and become invaluable. So why does a guy who works at McDonald's only make $8 an hour, but a CPA, an engineer, or a doctor can make $8,000 an hour? Because you can literally teach a meth head on the street who's coked out of his mind to flip a burger, but it takes literally decades of experience and training to teach a person how to perform brain surgery or how to send a satellite to Mars. I talked about this earlier, everybody, but cutting spending is only one side of the equation, whereas making more money is the other side of the equation. Find a high-value six-figure skill, get as good as you possibly can at it, and learn how to monopolize and get invaluable with that skill so you can literally pick and choose your per-hour price. My advice to everyone is you should focus on mastering your craft and focus on becoming an absolute 0.1% rock star at your craft. For instance, my high-value skill set is mechanical engineering and finance, hence why I started a finance channel. I build $1 billion+ projects for the federal government and for private developers. and I'm an industry expert in my field of mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering. I'm on record saying that if I quit my job today, I would literally within 1 or 2 business days have multiple job offers from industries from LA to Miami to New York to Europe. And I would also probably receive a 20 to 25% pay raise and a nice signing bonus once I accepted this job opportunity with a rival corporation or company. I got to this point, everybody, by always taking the hardest assignments, always taking challenging roles, and by getting advanced degrees and a new certification every year. So the next way they program us to be poor, everybody, is that they teach us to be mediocre and to be average instead of teaching us to become industry experts in our white collar or our blue collar fields. Next, the next way they program us to be poor is that they make you think that money and finance is hard, that you have to pay some financial advisor to essentially manage your money for you. People, I have an MBA from a very prestigious university, and I can tell you with certainty that 100% of the MBAs, financial planners, and hedge fund managers lose money 96% of the time over a 15-year period, and they cannot beat the stock market over that same time period. In English, everybody, this is what this means. Investing is easy and is not really that challenging as long as you invest into the total stock market index or the S&P 500. And if you invest into boring, passively managed, low-cost index funds that match the stock market, you are going to make more money and pay less taxes than the individual who puts all their money into some hedge fund manager or some financial advisor to manage their funds. People, mechanical engineering is hard. Medical school is hard. Being an aerospace engineer that shoots things into space is hard. Being an electrician or a plumber is hard. People, finance is not hard. So the next way they program us to be poor is that they make you think that money and finance is hard, when in reality, it's not that hard. And if you invest into a simple total stock market index fund, an HSA, or the S&P 500, you are going to make more money than the typical person who puts their money into the hands of a financial advisor. Before I go any further, everybody, I want you to hit that notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, as I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys free content here on Financipation. So another way they program us to be poor is that they push this obese and unhealthy image and call it body positivity. Full disclosure, everybody, I'm a certified personal trainer, and prior to doing Financipation, I got offers to do a few sports professionally. You can actually go online and probably find some of my fights if you look hard enough. And when it boils down to it, everybody, as a certified personal trainer, unfortunately, the powers that be want us to take pride in being obese, unhealthy, sick, broke, misinformed, and yeah, I'll say it, fat. Because a person that is unhealthy, obese, dumb, obedient, and poor is literally no threat or competition to a person that is healthy, intelligent, entrepreneurial, and financially savvy. People, I'll break it down to you like this. If you make $100,000 a year and you die of a heart attack at 40, well, guess what? The retirement age right now is 65. That means you literally just cost your family $2.5 million because you died 25 years prematurely. And I don't know how to say it, but healthy, in-shape people like myself can flat out outwork obese, unhealthy people because we do not call in sick nearly as often, and our health is literally our wealth. Study after study shows that the most C-suite status executives are tall, healthy, attractive, athletic men and women that are very rarely sick and that very rarely call in or miss work because of health-related issues. Health, everybody, is wealth. And the next way they program us to be poor in this country is they tell us to be obese and unhealthy, and they call it body positivity. People, please take care of your health and do not play that game. Next way they're keeping us poor is by not teaching proper financial literacy in our public schools or our universities. Full disclosure, it is possible to take some finance classes in high school and middle school, and honestly, I'm trying to get Financipation in as many schools as I possibly can because I want to teach as many kids as possible how to build generational wealth, because unfortunately, a lot of them are not learning it at home. But in general, everybody, they do not teach you how to build generational wealth in our middle schools or in our high schools all across America. People will never behave inconsistently to their consistent programming. So as a result, why do you think that they therefore spend so much time programming us on television to be dumb, to be broke, to stay on social media, and essentially take all of their advice from rappers, country music singers, and athletes? Everybody, it's not a coincidence that they don't teach finance, investing, or how to build generational wealth in our public school system, and especially not in the inner city, public, or rural schools. The reason is obvious, everybody. Capitalism, which in my opinion, because I am a capitalist, is the greatest form of government that mankind has ever created, only works if you have a working class of low-value people that don't understand how much money they can make if they simply invest it slowly over time. And as a result, it allows the poor to stay poor. It allows the middle class to stay in the middle class. And most importantly, it allows the ultra wealthy to stay ultra wealthy. So if my school systems in the hood or schools in the trailer parks never teaches you how to open a brokerage account, or why you need a Roth IRA, or parents, why you should start a 529 or up account for your child the day they're born, it's always going to keep you poor. But those kids across the street, or across the tracks rather, who are born wealthy, do learn the importance of starting a business. They do learn the importance of starting a UTMA account for their children. They do learn the importance of starting a trust. They systematically have a built-in advantage over everybody else who lives around them. And as a result, the poor will stay poor and the rich will keep getting richer. So the next way they are keeping us poor is by not teaching proper financial literacy in our public schools or our universities. Next. The next way they're keeping us poor is through our religious leaders and through our churches. Full disclosure, this one hurts everybody. And I don't hear this, generally speaking, as much in my Korean churches and the more affluent white churches, the upper end Latino churches, or the mosque, the Jewish synagogues. Because those religious houses of worship overwhelmingly tell their parishioners how to get wealthy and tell them that getting wealthy, generally speaking, is a great thing. But in my black churches, particularly in the hood, the ones near the inner cities, for some strange reason, there seems to be this unwritten rule that rich people are evil and that they're all going to hell, and that somehow our righteousness is closely associated with how poor we are. I honestly remember growing up in churches and hearing that money is the root of all evil. But if you actually read the Bible, it doesn't say that. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. It's almost like our churches are systematically programming us to hate the rich and the wealthy. And the thing about it is this, guys, it is almost impossible to acquire something that you hate and that you despise. It's almost like trying to date a beautiful woman that loves to work out and who cooks and who cleans, and being told your entire life you should avoid beautiful women that love to work out and who cook and who clean. It's an oxymoron. Yet, how often do us black professionals actually sit down and tell each other how to start a legal business, or how to basically build generational wealth, or why you should invest in this stock versus that stock? People, we got to do better. And in my opinion, it should be mandatory training in just about every black church in America about how to build wealth at least one night a week. Because once again, our 6 and 7 figure professionals literally sit on the same pews as our reformed gangbangers and drug dealers. So the next way they program us to be poor in America is through our religious leaders and through our churches. Next. The next way they program us to be poor is through the toxic messaging of hip hop. This one hurts because, generally speaking, as a kid who grew up literally blasting Biggie, blasting Tupac, blasting Nas, and blasting Jay-Z, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I'm in the gym hitting a heavy bag, I'm sparring with some of my boys in a boxing or in a cage and everything like that, I'm not listening to gospel music. I'm blasting some hardcore hip-hop. But particularly in communities like me, modern-day hip-hop is one of the main things keeping us poor because it has sadly become a minstrel show. Long gone, everybody, are the days of Tupac's Dear Mama or Brenda's Got a Baby or Nas's If I Ruled the World. Modern day hip hop has unfortunately devolved into a minstrel show of buck dancing, sellout coons. And to be honest with you, what's sad is that when KRS-One, RZA, and Prodigy was talking about essentially don't do drugs, modern day rappers are essentially reformed drug addicts, and it's sad. Ladies, statistically speaking, you and your children are going to be extremely poor if you drop out of school, you become a baby mama, and you have a bunch of kids with a bunch of meth dealers or drug addicts. Fellas, statistically speaking, if you got about 4 or 5 baby mamas, you can't read, you can't write, you have no skills, you don't learn no trade, you go to prison. By the time you got to prison, you are literally no threat whatsoever to the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bill Gates, and the actual billionaire entrepreneurs that are out here. And that is the reason why, everybody, I consider, unfortunately, certain elements of modern day hip hop to be so destructive. Because once again, if you are always drunk, you drop out of high school, you sell drugs, and you go to prison, you literally have very little options once you get out. So in closing, everybody, this channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link is below. I am not giving you financial advice on this channel. You must make responsible decisions based on the thorough, independent research that you do for yourself. And thanks for listening, everybody. Please follow me and check me out on my website at www.therealfinancipation.com. My Instagram page is @thereal_financipation, and my Spotify is Financipation. Additionally, my TikTok is Financipation, just like it's spelled in that sign back there, okay? And check out my blog as well for $4.99 a month, where I go into a lot more detail in regards to index funds. I go into real estate. I go into investment trusts, things of that nature, probate, things of that nature. And also check out some of my digital, my e-products below as well. Hit the notification bell. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. Please hit that notification button so you know when I drop new content. And thanks, Capitalism Solutions, for all these dope graphics. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out, everybody. Peace. Peace.